Right now at 10, the search for clues after a shooting on La Crosse's north side. A neighbor shares what they know.
And mayoral candidates face questions about the future of housing in La Crosse.
Plus, another episode in the battle against the odor from City Brewery.
WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. The Onalaska School District has a new superintendent. The school board tonight naming Ben Barton to the position. Barton was one of the 3 finalists who met the community at a public forum last week. He served as superintendent for Princeton Public Schools, a district an hour north of the Twin Cities and similar in size to Onalaska. Before that, he was superintendent at Caledonia. The board liked his nearby roots and his track record of handling such an important role.
Ben impressed us with his vast knowledge of not only what the role involves and entails, but how that role works cooperatively with the Board of Education.
Barton officially assumes the role July 1st.
La Crosse mayoral candidates spoke on hot-button topics at a mayoral forum tonight. The forum was hosted by the Apartment Association of the La Crosse area. Questions were focused on rental housing, housing development, and homeless in the city. The event allowed candidates to highlight the policies they want to bring to the mayor's office.
So this gives our members an opportunity to ask more specific questions. For example, everybody supports Pathways Home, but tonight we would like to find out what specifically about that plan is different than what's been done before, and how is that exactly going to bring a new solution to the table.
Questions asked at the forum were submitted ahead of time.
La Crosse police are asking the public for help after a shooting on the north side. That shooting happening Sunday on Logan Street. A group of teenage boys allegedly had been fighting with another boy. Witnesses heard gunshots, saw the group running away, and saw one teen shot in the arm. Witnesses say a neighbor jumped into action applying a tourniquet to the victim's arm. Witnesses say they didn't recognize any of the people involved and don't believe they live in the neighborhood.
I would never expect it to happen this close to me. I know there's been other situations around here, but kind of startled a little bit.
So far, police have not said whether any arrests have been made or what a possible motive could have been.
Not guilty pleas for a Tomah stabbing suspect today. Monroe County Court entered those pleas for 18-year-old Leah Pugrum. He faces attempted first-degree intentional homicide and first-degree recklessly endangering safety charges. Police say Pugrum allegedly stabbed someone during a fight on Glendale Avenue. He'll be back in court next month.
A UW La Crosse student facing a sexual assault charge is bound over for trial. 19-year-old Logan Zdanowitz allegedly assaulted a woman at a dorm in Laux Hall after partying with her. He is free on a $5,000 bond. He'll be entering a plea Wednesday.
A partial defeat in court for the woman accused in a child's death. A La Crosse judge denying Josie Dykeman's attempt to dismiss a child neglect charge. She still faces 3 felonies, including first-degree intentional homicide for the death of 6-year-old AJ Pedron in 2023. Dykeman has pleaded not guilty and is out on a $50,000 cash bond. A jury trial is set for August 11th.
And still no word on what caused a house fire in Onalaska. It happened yesterday at Cole Court. Took fire crews a little over an hour to put out. Everyone was able to get out safely, though the fire left the home severely damaged.
We had a gorgeous start to the week out there today with many locations getting into the 70s, the first 70-degree day of the year. Now we have a cold front passing through this evening. That's going to cut our fun off just a little bit too soon. We do have some very, very light rain with it. However, remember, we had very, very dry conditions out there today. So I'm not really expecting much of that rain to actually make it into the area and surpass that dryness. Here we go on our sky tracker going through the next few hours, possibly grazing the more northern areas as we go towards that midnight hour, but that really starts to weaken and dissipate as it heads into our area. So we're not really looking at a lot of moisture with this cold front, but we are looking at cooler temperatures. These low temperatures are going to hit a little bit later in the morning because it's going to take a second for that cold air to settle in. By around 8 a.m. we should be sitting right near freezing across the area, and it's going to feel a little bit chilly out there. Here we are, 4 a.m. in La Crosse, predicted to still be 42, but those temperatures drop very quickly once that cold front passes through. We'll continue to see some breezier conditions through the night and into the morning as well, but those will really die down in the afternoon, and then we'll have that colder day, but we do have a quick warm up as we go towards the half of the week. So it's a little bit of good news, or a little bit of bad news, and then a little bit of good news.
Yeah, but mostly good.
Yeah.
Mostly good, yeah.
Thanks, Nicole.
Federal authorities are investigating a plane crash near the Rochester airport. Olmsted County sheriffs say the small aircraft went down last night in High Forest Township. The wreckage was found in a wooded area. The pilot was the only person inside the plane and was able to walk away from the crash.
City Brewing getting a parking brake in La Crosse. The City Board of Public Works reversing its plan to end a parking lease deal over an odor. It said the brewery wasn't doing enough to stop the smells coming from a leak in their plant's roof. The brewery now plans to make a fix this year.
Concerned community members were out protesting against cuts to Medicaid in La Crosse this afternoon. The protest took place on West Avenue near the Mayo Clinic. One demonstrator mentions how this would affect our community and her hopes for outcome of the protest.
Things show up on TV and on Facebook and other news media, but a lot of people just scroll by and they don't pay attention, and it doesn't affect them. So who cares? You need to care. You need to care. You need to pay attention, because if it doesn't affect you, it affects your neighbor.
She also urges everyone to stay informed and to go out and vote at the elections.
Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers today bringing his state budget tour to UW Eau Claire. His budget plan includes $1.6 billion for brick and mortar projects across the UW system. This visit coming weeks after the State Building Commission approved projects to replace several UW Eau Claire buildings. He says while those approvals take longer than he'd like, they're necessary investments and the state should be doing more of them.
I would say this should have been dealt with a lot earlier, but a lot of competing campuses looking for the same thing. But this is obviously a really important one.
Evers' budget plan includes $194 million for Phase 2 of the Prairie Springs Science Center at UW La Crosse, but that project has not made it past legislative approval for almost a decade.
Federal funding cuts were at the center of a Westby roundtable this morning. Representative Tara Johnson gathered school superintendents and business owners to discuss the Trump administration's unprecedented funding freezes and how to respond. Johnson presented her bill to provide state backup when Washington dollars disappear as rural communities feel the squeeze.
The state government has a role to play in trying to respond and protecting Wisconsin families, protecting Wisconsin businesses, protecting school districts, counties who are recipients of those federal funds.
Education, housing, and agriculture programs face the deepest cuts.
There's also frustration and fear for Wisconsin farmers over President Donald Trump's tariffs.
News 8 Now's Grace Monk has a closer look.
Farmers in western Wisconsin are concerned over Trump's tariffs. They say it's something that could hurt their business, communities, and eventually consumer pockets. Wisconsin farmers are bracing for the effects of a trade war caused by tariffs imposed on Canada, Mexico, and China. These countries happen to be Wisconsin's top export markets. One farmer says a trade war would be detrimental to family-owned farms.
With our crops, especially soybeans, it's going to really hurt. Majority of the corn grown in the U.S. goes to Mexico, and if we have tariffs with them, it's going to hurt us, and it's going to be a tax on the rest of the people.
Last week, President Trump said the tariffs will protect farms.
Goods that come in from other countries and companies, they're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers.
But in Wisconsin, farmers are worried they'll lose their market shares for good, leaving consumers to cover the cost. The farmers we spoke to say they're preparing for the worst but hoping for the best. In Barry Mills, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
The Ontario Premier is threatening to cut off electricity to 3 U.S. states if more tariffs are put in place. Doug Ford says he's adding a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to 1.5 million homes and businesses in Minnesota, Michigan, and New York. Ford says that will cost an extra $100 per month. He says electricity will be shut off completely if the trade war continues.
Until these tariffs are off the table, until the threat of tariffs is gone for good, Ontario will not relent. We will not back down, pausing some tariffs, making last-minute exemptions. It won't cut it.
And the Minnesota utility company bordering Ontario says it bought just $300,000 worth of electricity from Ontario last year.
The search is on for a teen gone missing on spring break.
Plus, the latest on a string of vandalisms on an American electric car company.
What should I do next?
Western has the answer.
Do something that excites you.
Do something fun. Do something that shows your skills.
Do something that gets you hired to do what you love.
You can do it all at Western Technical College. Choose from more than 90 programs. Invest in you, spend less, and get hired fast. Take that next step. Apply at Western today.
Do something for you.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin, family-owned, turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. Get Spectrum Internet Premier for $30 per month when bundled plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-440-0029. Spectrum Internet puts streaming live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips.
The whereabouts of a college student from Northern Virginia missing for several days now remains a mystery.
20-year-old Sadiqa Kanaki attends the University of Pittsburgh. She vanished last Thursday while on a trip to the Dominican Republic. Now authorities are searching the land and sea for any sign of her. And the university says they're offering their full support in their efforts to find her.
Very frightening. I honestly didn't know how to process it because I didn't know her personally. But I just imagine that like being my own friend.
It's definitely really like concerning. It's definitely something that everyone should be really processing because it can happen to anyone.
The U.S. State Department has had the Dominican Republic under a level 2 travel advisory since June of last year. That means people traveling to the DR should exercise increased caution.
Police nationwide are investigating a series of attacks on Tesla showrooms, charging stations, and vehicles. Founder Elon Musk has been involved with the slashing of thousands of federal jobs over the past few weeks. While many peaceful protests have taken place at some Tesla locations, there are also widespread reports of vandalism. No one has been hurt, but there has been hurting Tesla's bottom line. The company reporting its first drop in annual sales in its history.
The Dow Jones fell nearly 900 points. The SP dropped around 2.7%, posting its worst week since September. The Nasdaq fell 4% in its worst day since 2022. The Wall Street jitters come as investors fear President Trump's tariff policy uncertainty will trigger a recession.
A new study shows employee burnout is hurting American businesses. Researchers found burnout can cost employers up to $5 million a year in lost productivity. Some signs of burnout include a drop in performance, missed deadlines, and more mistakes in an employee's work. Researchers say employers may want to focus more on employee health. That could help decrease costs and improve profits.
Still no exact word on what caused a MasterCard outage. It happened over the weekend. Cardholders couldn't make online payments or purchases. Users in Japan and the UK also reported problems. MasterCard was able to fix the problem, but it didn't offer any further details about what caused the outage or how many users were affected.
Severe weather in the Panhandle.
A look at the dangerous storms rocking the south up next.
And we're going to see a brief cool down in our area as we go into tomorrow, but temperatures are going to pop right back up pretty quickly as we head towards the end of the week. I'll have a full look at it coming up right after the break.
Working with Maxwell White was amazing. They were professional, answered all of my questions.
I give Maxwell White my highest possible recommendation.
Maxwell White did a fabulous job on our shower. 5-star plumbing service done right.
Can your floor stand up to this? At Sealands Carpetland, we know how hard your family can be in your home. You need a flooring that can stand up to mud, pets, and a crew like this. Don't sacrifice beauty for function. We'll help you find the perfect flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Come in and see our huge selection of luxury vinyl and tile. Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley, where our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up by the fire or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
When she was a lawyer, Susan Crawford defended Planned Parenthood.
And she personally trusts women to decide whether to have an abortion.
Not Brad Schimmel.
He wants to take us back to the 1849 law
that bans abortion for rape and the health of the mother.
So Susan Crawford is the common sense judge who will protect our rights. And Brad Schimmel is the extremist who will take them away.
That's why we need
Susan Crawford. Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
Have you checked your sump pump lately? After a big rain, basement flooding can significantly damage your home. Stay ahead and dry with a call to Maxwell White. We have standard pumps along with battery backup systems in case you lose power. Prevent future damage. Contact Maxwell White today.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Severe weather, including a confirmed EF2 tornado, swept through central Florida today.
At least one home was destroyed. 2 people were in the house at the time, but they weren't hurt.
We had to work our way around a downed tree in the roadway to gain access to the house. The house was collapsed on all sides with the exception of one corner of the house in the front, which is where the residents happened to be occupying.
The tornado touched down in Lake Mary, where it overturned a tractor trailer. The driver says he's okay and was resting in the back of the truck when that storm moved in.
Yeah, thankfully no one was hurt. Over here in our neck of the woods, it's been pretty calm and sunny.
Absolutely. Record-setting warmth in many of our communities across the region, Nicole.
Yes, it was a gorgeous day. Not a lot of complaints for anybody as we moved across with that heat today. We do have a little bit of a cool down coming in for now, though, and it's not really often that I show temps on our later shows because we're really looking for the morning temperatures, but it's not also often that in the beginning of March we're still sitting at the 50s at 10 o'clock, 54 right now in La Crosse. That's not going to be the case in the next few hours, though. There's that cold front that we've been talking about, already bringing colder air into North Dakota, 16 degrees right now in Grand Forks. That's going to be making its way into the area over the next few hours, and it's going to make our temperatures cool off very quickly. We're talking around 15 to 20 degree temperature drop in just a matter of a couple hours. It's also going to be bringing some wind gusts with it as well. We saw the winds slowly kind of lighten up as we went through the evening hours after a breezier afternoon, but they're going to ramp up again as we head towards that midnight hour around 1 a.m. Seeing wind gusts around 30, 25 miles an hour behind that front. Those will linger throughout your early morning. Still seeing wind gusts around 25 miles an hour by 8 a.m. But as we head towards the afternoon tomorrow, a lot of those winds will be lightening up and even getting some calm conditions as we get later in the day, which will be a nice break from these breezier afternoons that we've been having. Here's a look at the highs tomorrow. Again, a little bit cooler, actually still a few degrees above normal, but after a record-breaking 71-degree day in La Crosse, that's going to feel a little bit chilly on the skin, 20-degree difference. 49 for that high in La Crosse, 44 in Eau Claire, so cooler, but again, near normal. We're bouncing back pretty quickly though. Those winds switch around. They'll be out of the north tomorrow, but they swing and are out of the south as we go into Wednesday, and we're seeing temperatures getting near 60 degrees for areas south of I-90. Everybody else at least getting in to the mid-50s out there. So we'll warm back up quickly, and we'll continue to warm as we go throughout the week. We do have a mostly dry week ahead of us, but a chance for some widespread showers moving in Friday night. Could start to see those move in later into the evening on Friday, but a lot of that comes through Friday night and going into Saturday as well, with the chance for a couple snow flurries for some areas as well. So let's take a look at the long-range sky tracker here. Very strong low pressure system will be moving in. This is going to cause for some very windy conditions go right along with it. We'll see that entering into the area later Friday evening. Here we are at 9 p.m. starting to see that line of showers start to ramp up. As we go later into the night, we could see some more moderate rainfall amounts that'll continue to push through the area. Once we get on that backside of the low pressure system, it always starts to circulate that cooler air in behind it. And once it moves right past us as we go into the Saturday afternoon, we could start to possibly pick up some snow for portions of our area. Still a lot of questions on the timing and the track and the severe potential. There is the potential to have some thunderstorms with this. Whether or not they'll be severe is still kind of a question. More probable area down into southern Missouri. We are close to that possible area, but again, still a couple days out, and is going to need some more time to work out all the details on that. But what we do know is it will be wet, and it's going to be very windy for both Friday and Saturday, kind of ruining the beginning of the weekend. We'll calm down on Sunday, but temperatures are going to be back into the 30s to finish the weekend out, and then near normal to start the next week off. I mean, the 50s, it's really not bad, but after seeing the 70, it's kind of disappointing.
I know, but we'll take a little bit.
I'll take what I can get, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Nicole. Coming up next in sports, Beckett State. The Caledonia girls prepping for one of Minnesota's best teams. Plus, the Packers shoring up their offensive line and defensive backfield. Details on the signings from Jacob next.
Your commute, your lunchtime, your drive home. Is it going to be clear, rainy, or worse? Every morning, I'll let you know. We'll see you there.
You wouldn't buy the first vehicle you saw.
Trust me, it's perfectly safe.
I'll take it. So don't hire the first personal injury lawyer you call.
Trust me.
Where do I sign? Object to anything less than the best. Call BGR.
The chips that you like are not on sale this week, so we're gonna have to skip those. Sorry, bud.
Aww. Hi, we're at the Woodman's. I'm Clint. I'm Phil. At Woodman's, you don't need a flyer to find hot deals.
With our everyday low prices and huge selection, you can find anything you're looking for.
And still save big time on your whole grocery bill.
So I can get the groceries I want and save money? Looks like your chips are back on the list.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
When my sister was murdered 15 years ago, Brad Schimmel kept his promise to us. He told us he was going to get us justice, and he did. When I see these commercials attacking him, I have a lot to say about that, because Brad would kneel next to my mom and hold her hands. And you're going to tell me that's a person that doesn't care about victims? I'm sorry, that is not true. Brad puts victims first, and that's the type of person that should be in the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Hiring the wrong personal injury attorney can cost you a lot. Researching personal injury attorneys costs you nothing. We're confident that your research will lead you to Bygoff and Rohde. BGR, object to anything less than the best.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
We have got just one area girls basketball team left, still standing, as the Caledonia Warriors will take to the Minnesota State Tournament later this week. It's the first time they've been there since 2019. 19, and this year's squad is ready to make a statement. The Warriors will enter the state tournament with a 27-3 record on the season. They're averaging just under 60 points per game while holding opponents to just over 30. They're a team that takes pride in their defense and hard work, and now they've been rewarded with a trip to Minneapolis.
It's really surreal kind of getting to the state tournament, realizing it's like our last few games, but I've been dreaming of this moment, so I think it's kind of like a goal was really accomplished.
It just feels really good because, you know, all the hard work you did paid off, and it's just so good to win with your team.
Now, Caledonia will have their biggest test of the season in front of them, a quarterfinal matchup against a fantastic Minnehaha Academy team. But head coach Scott Sorensen says the Warriors are up for the challenge.
They're extremely quick. They're athletic. They're going to spread the floor and try to dribble drive at us. They've got a 4,000-point scorer in Addie Mack, and so we got to know where she's at because she's really quick. I like the matchup because you know, again, anytime you're at this level, you just love being there, but you love the matchup because I feel we can compete with them.
Minnehaha is the 3 seed. Warriors are the 6 seed. This one set to start on Wednesday at 8 p.m. at Mattery Pavilion, in Minneapolis. And from one Warrior team to another, the fun is just about to get started for the Winona State men, who are back in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. Last night, the Warriors were given the 3 seed in the Central Region quarterfinal pairings, and they'll take on Southwest Minnesota State, who they're 2-1 against this season. That game will be played on Saturday at noon in Topeka, Kansas. The winner will take on the winner of MSU Moorhead and Fort Hays State. And speaking of tournament time, here's a look at the Big Ten tournament bracket. Games get underway on Wednesday. Wisconsin will take on the winner of Northwestern and Minnesota Thursday around 6:30. Then UCLA waits in the wings as they locked up that double bye thanks to a Badgers loss to Penn State back on Saturday. Busy day of moves in the NFL with free agency officially getting underway on Tuesday, and the Packers joining in on the fun as they agree to terms with former Niners guard Aaron Banks for 4 years and $77 million. The interior offensive lineman just allowed 1 sack last year and 4 quarterback hits. He was regarded as one of the top players at his position in the free agent market. Many believe this will move Elton Jenkins over to center. And the other reported deal from today for the Packers, cornerback Nate Hobbs agreeing to a 4-year deal worth $48 million with the team. Last season with the Raiders, he played in 11 games, starting in 7, logging 49 tackles, 5 passes defended, and 1 interception. Mostly played as a nickel corner with 275 snaps in the slot compared to about 130 on the outside. That deal made, as many believe, the Packers will be moving on from Jair Alexander. And the Minnesota Vikings will have a new man under center next year as Sam Darnold agreeing to a 3-year, $100.5 million deal with the Seahawks. Seattle recently traded Geno Smith, last year's starter, to the Raiders, and now Darnold enters the fold after throwing for 4,319 yards and 35 touchdowns a season ago. One source says $55 million is guaranteed, and he'll earn $37.5 million in 2025. Seahawks going 10-7 last year, but missing the playoffs. So I have to come back to this question: who will be the quarterback of the Vikings next year? Maybe J.J. McCarthy, maybe Aaron Rodgers. Could it be? We'll see.
You gotta complete the cycle.
It could be. Time could be a flat circle. We don't know what it is.
Packers, Jets, Vikings. Yes, it's just what has to happen.
Who knows? Who knows? I'm wondering, but plenty of time left for free agency, so we'll see where these guys kind of land.
But Rodgers is running out of choices.
He sure is.
A handful of teams that haven't decided what they're doing at quarterback.
And Steelers and Giants, it sounded like so.
Some great choices right there.
Thanks, guys.
All right, more news right after this.
Give your child the independence they want with Ultra's Live Your Life Spend account. It's a free account designed for money-savvy teens and young adults with all the extra features you'll love. No minimum balance and no monthly fees. Plus, cashback debit card rewards. Ultra Federal Credit Union.
Come to the 27th Annual Early Bird Home Show. Lowest prices of the year.
Windows, doors, patio doors, lowest price of the year.
Bath remodels, kitchen remodels, lowest prices of the year.
Pergolas, decks, or sunrooms, lowest price of the year.
Siding, trim, or gutters, lowest prices of the year.
27th Annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store, 524 Copen Avenue, La Crosse. TheBoardStoreOnline.com or call 608-782-8877.
When she was a lawyer, Susan Crawford defended Planned Parenthood.
And she personally trusts women to decide whether to have an abortion.
Not Brad Schimmel.
He wants to take us back to the 1849 law
that bans abortion for rape and the health of the mother.
So Susan Crawford is the common sense judge who will protect our rights. And Brad Schimmel is the extremist who will take them away.
That's why we need
Susan Crawford. Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
Get the lowest prices of the year during sales fair at Nelson Agri Center, Friday, March 14th through Saturday, March 22nd. Get huge savings on Milwaukee power tools. Stock up on paint with our buy one, get one specials. We'll have deals on fencing, gates, seeds, and more for your farm. Plus, get an $8 store credit towards already low prices with the junk battery trade-in sale. Thousands of items will be on sale at the lowest prices of the year at Nelson Agri Center, downtown Viroqua.
Radon is a radioactive gas you can't see or smell, but it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. It can seep up from the ground and into your home, and as many as 1 in 3 homes can have dangerous levels, especially in basements, where many of us have bedrooms and playrooms. Call American Water Works for an expert radon solution. We'll get radon out to help protect your family and your home's value. Don't wait. Breathe healthier today. Call the radon experts at American Water Works.
Dreaming of a new ride? Apply today at driveultra.org and make your dream a reality. Hey, dogs can dream too. Ultra Federal Credit Union.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Crufts, the world's biggest dog show, was held Sunday in England.
And the top dog award went to an Italian Whippet. Mucha is 4 years old. Her handler describes her as the sweetest dog.
She is the first Italian dog to win the coveted Best in Show prize at the event. And get this, the 4th Whippet to win the prize. So something about Whippets, apparently.
Yeah.
At Crufts.
They tend to win. They tend to take home the
Four
grand
of them,
prize.
at least, yeah. I would be partial to a Labrador, Golden Retriever, maybe a Dalmatian, German Shepherd. But,
okay.
But a Whippet.
A Whippet. Whippet wins. Whippets win.
Way to go, Mucha.
That's right. Okay. Nicole has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Huh. Looks like the Millers got some new furniture. And the Garcias? What? The Tippleworths? Orange Days.
Orange Days are here. Ashley's biggest sale of the year. Don't miss it.
I'm Steve from Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. If you see condensation here, you could have mold hiding here. You need a trusted window company to replace the window and check for hidden issues. At Clear Choice, we know that your home is your biggest investment, and in a year like this, every dollar needs to be spent wisely. Our team will complete our Weather Guardian 15-step installation process on every job to ensure your home and family are safe before we leave. Save $100 off each window and door, plus an additional $500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more.
Firefighters Credit Union has been a proud member of the community for nearly a century. We're local lenders with repeat borrowers that you know and you trust. Call Firefighters Credit Union today for your next mortgage.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
This is Curtis O'Brien, a convicted felon. He sexually assaulted a 5-year-old Wisconsin girl multiple times. Judge Susan Crawford could have given him 60 years in prison, but she let him walk. 2 years in prison. That's it. While his victim lives with the scars forever. She even let the predator live across the street from an elementary school. That was Crawford's choice. Another dangerous decision from Susan Crawford, putting all our kids at risk. She's just wrong for Wisconsin.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
Huh. Looks like the Millers got some new furniture. And the Garcias? What? The Tippleworths? Orange Days.
Orange Days are here. Ashley's biggest sale of the year. Don't miss it.
Here's your forecast going out the door in the morning. Going to be a little bit chilly, a little bit later now. That sun rises later in the morning at around 7:30, so our lows are actually around 8 now, but we're not going to warm up too much as we go into the afternoon. Highs staying in the 40s tomorrow, but we'll bounce back. Chance to see the 70s again on Friday. Looking forward to it.
Like that. Thanks so much for joining us at 10.
And we'll see you tomorrow.